Now on Radio Faversham, it's on stage at the Arden Theatre with Wendy Otway.
From May the 21st until the 24th, Arden Theatre audiences will be entertained by music and drama yet again in two one-act contemporary plays, The Musicians and Blue Remembered Hills. And I now have the pleasure of talking to director Richard Andrews. Hi, Richard. Thanks for joining us on Faversham Radio.
Well, it's a pleasure, Wendy. Good morning. Nice to see you.
So let's start with the first one-act play, The Musicians. Someone once said that Patrick Marber's fast and funny play, The Musicians, is for anyone who has ever played air trombone. Can you elaborate?
Yes, I can. Well, it's a fast, funny play that celebrates the joy of music. And so really it's for anybody who plays any air instrument, even, of course, when there are instruments missing, which, of course, there are in this wonderful, heartwarming, hilarious and wonderful play. It's full of imagination. It's the joy of creativity and connection, and finding harmony in the most unlikely of places. So if you are an air trombonist or an air guitarist or an air violinist, come and see how it's done.
Right. So without giving too much away, because I don't want to push you for spoilers, we've got the story of a school orchestra which has had its instruments impounded. What happens next?
Well, there's a bit of a riot because they've traveled all the way to Moscow to play this important piece of music in the Youth Orchestra Festival. And so there is rebellion. There's ingenuity. There is a little bit of magic, in fact, with the help of an unexpected ally in the form of a young Russian janitor, caretaker. And with his help and the power of the orchestra's imagination, they bring it off.
It sounds intriguing. And
Well, it is. Well, yes. I can't tell you any more without giving too much away.
I'm not going to push you. I'm not going to push you, except for the fact the orchestra has gone to Russia to play Tchaikovsky, but
Yes.
somewhere along the line, the pinball wizard gets involved. How? Why?
Okay. Well, the janitor is a fan of the Pinball Wizard, and he asks the conductor about Pinball Wizard. And if you ever studied Pinball Wizard and the Who, the music is a joy to listen to. It's very invigorating, and so the anthem of the Who's Pinball Wizard enlivens the orchestra into doing something sort of quite special. And it's funny, it's moving, and it is special. I mean, even in rehearsals, I move to weep a little bit because of the magic.
You've heard it here, everybody. We're going to have some magic and we're going to be moved. So, just to wrap up on The Musicians, is the play a musical, a comedy, a drama, or is it all three? Are we going to be thoroughly entertained, whatever our taste?
Well, I mean, The Musicians, it's not really a musical. It's a feel-good one-act play that manages, I think, to be all three. It's only 55 minutes long. I say that so much work goes into just 55 minutes, but it's all of those things. It's clever, it's touching, it's joyful, and it's perfect for anyone who believes that music matters, no matter what form it takes.
Great. Okay.
Sounds rehearsed, doesn't it?
Yes, but no. No, you are normally a wordsmith and you're not letting us down today.
Okay.
So after the interval, we come back for a very different play, Blue Remembered Hills.
Yes.
Okay, so Blue Remembered Hills is about 7 children and includes many forms of cruelty, such as bullying, animal cruelty, and child abuse. Convince me that this is really entertainment.
Well, it isn't really entertainment in the loosest sense of light amusement. Rather, it's challenging theatre. It challenges the audience. Is designed really to provoke, reflect, and stir up some empathy and maybe some conversation. But like so many works, like I'm thinking The Crucible or The Lord of the Flies, where fiction is used to explore reality, this does exactly the same. The uncomfortable moments that maybe can help the audience confront societal issues. Sometimes in ways that news reports and statistics can't. So if it sparks any awareness or even change, then yes, it can absolutely be called powerful and relevant entertainment.
Good. So it's going to make us all think, which is always good when you come out of a theatre.
Yes.
So these children who play, laugh, sing, cry are played by adults. How will you and your cast capture the joys of childhood, the nostalgia for the blue remembered hills of our youth, which is not always justified?
It's a good question, Wendy. We had several meetings and sort of workshops on how to portray 7-year-olds, essentially 7 or 8-year-olds, when most of them, we've got one 18-year-old, but the rest, I think the average age is probably 55 or even 60. No, they're probably not. That's insulting them. So we had these workshops, and I think we decided that we weren't going to imitate kids. We were sort of trying to maybe inhabit young people, sort of tapping into emotional immediacy and spontaneity of kids. Every now and then you see kids just do things totally randomly and yet still being involved in something else. And I think we things like teasing without understanding. There's lots of teasing, as you've mentioned, but doing crazy things without thinking and then sort of dealing with them later. But so we search for moments of joy, moments of sadness, but muddy boot moments as well, and going for a pee in the woods, that sort of stuff. And so it's not imitating, not caricatures of young children. I think just we've tried to inhabit them, and we're going to do our best to look young too. There's not going to be any facial hair.
Right, especially not for ladies, I presume. So it is considered to be one of Dennis Potter's easiest TV plays to transfer to the stage. But what challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them on the staging?
Well, we're actually doing the TV script, which is 22 scenes, which in itself is a staging problem. Some of the scenes are just sort of one line or two lines, or just a fleeting moment, which in itself is problematic. But we've created. It's set in the Forest of Dean. And so we think green and trees and open spaces. And we haven't, I'm not one for sets anyway. In anything that I do, I don't like sets because they wobble. And so what we've created is an expanse of green, which we hope is sort of suggesting the Forest of Dean, for the kids to move around and enjoy. I say the kids, the adults, to enjoy the space. And so we want the audience to sort of fill in the gaps of the landscape.
Okay. Well, green and pastoral is the backing, isn't it? So if we're looking at grass, will we be able to smell the grass?
Curiously, I like you know what I like to do. I'm not using any smells on these shows. I like to use smells. And also tactile stuff, everything if you can. But I'm avoiding it this time round, going for some change in different ways, though.
Okay, so if someone listening did not see Blue Remembered Hills in the late 1970s and went away going, that is awesome, why should they come and see it now?
Because we're a charity and we need support.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blue Remembered Hills sort of, I guess it captures the raw, unfiltered world of childhood. Okay, the play, the peer pressure, cruelty, the confusion. It sort of holds a mirror up to adult behavior, and we haven't, because it's set in World War II, we haven't escaped that era. We've tried to reflect that era, and that was a crazy era because the whole world was at war. And here is this mini world war in the Forest of Dean. And so whilst it is children, it's reflecting what adults are up to as well. So it's an interesting thing. And so it concerns bullying and emotional well-being and all the effects of trauma. But it offers something a little bit rare. I think it's a chance to reflect, not through lectures or headlines, but through stories powerfully performed by our wonderfully talented cast.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, come and enjoy and go away.
So, everyone, you've heard it here. Richard believes you will enjoy, you will experience something quite different in both plays. So what's stopping you? Go buy your tickets right now for the performances between the 21st and the 24th. There is a matinee, and you can get the tickets at ardentheatre.org.uk.